Today we are doing communication and online messaging. Deliver this training on behalf of CBS Newark and Sherwood, and we run these bite-sized sessions along with our 1-hour how-to series. I've briefly just covered that. We run these every other week, and in this session we will be focusing on digital platforms to connect and communicate others by online messaging. So what is online messaging? Similar to texting, online messaging is the sending and receiving of messages from devices such as your computer, tablet or phone. I'm sure you all know this, but we're just going to be doing a run through of some of the more basic or like apps that were created for the purpose of online messaging, because these apps are going to be the best apps to use for your group communication if you're doing community groups and stuff like that. Using other social medias with a built-in direct message function isn't going to be as useful as using WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, which are apps that are created specifically for messaging. So these include web applications such as Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Other social medias such as Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat aren't messaging apps primarily, but they do have a direct messaging feature that allows you to converse with others through the app. Online messaging is a very beneficial tool to community and voluntary groups, as it opens up a dialogue and allows participants to directly ask questions. This can benefit groups in a multitude of ways, but some of the main benefits are being able to communicate with members and potential members, because something to consider is if there's somebody new who's maybe found you through your group Facebook page, if they message you, they can have that direct dialogue, ask you a few questions. You could maybe add them to a specific group chat for volunteers within your group, just so that they can get to know people, and it could bring them in to what you're doing. So it's a great feature for potential members, but also keeping current members informed. It's also very beneficial for sending out information and updates. It's great for peer support and keeping in touch, keeping an open conversation running. It's good for organising meetings and events and getting people's opinions on things that you're doing. And it is also great to converse collectively and individually. So collectively would be your group chat, individually could be a direct message with someone, just asking questions or having general feedback from maybe an event you've done or something that you're planning on doing. So it is a great feature for groups. So what are group chats? An important feature of online messaging is the group chat. A group chat lets you instantly send messages, pictures and videos to multiple people at once, whilst keeping a group conversation going for days, weeks or months. So it's about that free-flowing dialogue and having people feel like communication isn't disjointed, like you're all having one conversation together. This feature is especially important if you're looking to implement online messaging into your community group. So below is just an example of what a group chat would look like on Facebook Messenger. It allows you to have stuff like polls. So if you're running a community group, you could create a poll and people could vote on what they want to do for the fundraiser, or what people want the next focus to be with going forwards, or what cake people want at the bake sale, that type of thing. Like, it's just a really nice way to keep people involved and keep everyone informed on what you're doing. So basic group chat tips. These are just a few basic rules for making a group chat not too overwhelming. So don't create massive groups, as it's difficult to have large inclusive conversations digitally. I think anywhere up of 25 and up people is going to be a lot. Maybe if you do have a really large organization, split it down into smaller sections, smaller groups of what people are all doing, so that conversations aren't getting crossed and just getting too busy for people to understand what's going on. Don't include unknown people into groups. I wouldn't add people to a group unless you've had a private conversation with them before. Just because if they're unknown, well, one, you don't know who they are, but two, it might be really confusing and a bit out of context for them. Or another reason, they might not be somebody that the group is meant for. So don't talk to just one person, interact with all people. Don't spam. Sending too many messages can be off-putting to participants, and also it's a group chat. You need everyone to have their say, so don't send too many messages. It is just going to get a bit bombarded and people aren't going to be able to get a word in. Also, don't stay silent. Use it as a chance to connect with people in the group and contribute where it seems relevant. It's a great chance to reach out and meet other people in an organisation or a hobby group, and really contribute to the conversation and getting involved. To send a message to more than one person, in most apps you will need to tap New Group at the top of the chat screen and enter your desired recipients. This normally appears as a pen and paper icon, so if you're going to make a group chat, in most messaging applications, look for the pen and paper icon, normally at the top of the screen, and you can just type in multiple people. It's a super easy thing to do. Next, you need to name the group with an appropriate title, i.e. annual Christmas fundraiser or whatever you're doing, just so that people who've been added can understand the occasion and the context of the group chat. So we'll quickly look at the two main apps I've just spoken about. Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp is what we're going to be focusing on. Facebook Messenger is a social messaging app attached to Facebook. Currently has 1.3 billion users and is one of the most popular messaging apps, so it's definitely one to get on if you're looking at bringing in new people. You can download the Facebook Messenger app to a smartphone or tablet. All you need to do this is to download the app and log in to the app once it has been installed on your tablet or phone. You can't download the app on a laptop, but you can use Facebook Messenger just through the website on your laptop. So there's a difference between phone, tablet, and laptop. However, it is important to recognize that Facebook Messenger requires a social media presence. So although there's billions of active users, it's important to note whether your friends, audience, or community group will have a Facebook profile and a social media presence. The sort of downfall of Facebook Messenger is it isn't as accessible because not everybody is on social media and not everybody wants to be on social media. So keep that in mind depending on who you're looking at communicating with via online messaging. So the benefits. If you're using Facebook to stay in touch with family and friends, then you're already familiar with Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger is a great tool to communicate with people in real time that's developed by Facebook. The benefits are it's free to use, you can send files and images, you can make a phone call and make a video call. There's the ability to make group chats and really large group chats at that. I think Facebook has an upper limit of like 100 people. You can see who is online when you're typing. And you can change the theme and colors of people's messages. You can also change people's names to be nicknames. So you can have abbreviations. It doesn't have to be the full formal name if that's not what you're known as. The features of Facebook Messenger are audio and video call. We've previously covered this, so I won't go into it, but that is the link, and we'll share these resources with you after the presentation as well. So you can go to the link for the video calling basics to see how to make a video or audio call. You can send photos or videos. You'd only need to tap the photo icon along the bottom of the screen. You can send stickers, which are a great way to send a reaction. You can send moving GIFs, which again is just a short video / animation, which is used for a fun reaction. You can send voice notes, which is, it's like a voicemail, leaving a voicemail, but it's just a recording of your voice rather than written text. So they're all really fun features that can be really great if you are going to be using Facebook as a one-to-one communication tool or as a group messaging tool. So, how to use Facebook Messenger. Using the Facebook Messenger website is like using any other instant messaging application. Simply click or tap the compose button and select the person or persons you would like to chat with and then start typing. When you first launch the app, you'll be presented with the home screen that shows your contacts, messages, and active users. Using the bottom of the application screen as a navigation bar. So there's two icons or buttons at the bottom of the navigation screen. So what you'll have on your screen is chats, which you can see in the images, it's the one on the left, which acts as your home screen. It displays all your message conversations in an easy view to list, and it also displays your group chats as well. So if you can see on the bottom of that image, it has surf crew and it has multiple people next to it. That just indicates that it's a group chat. If it's not going to have a person's name, if it's a one person, it will be the person's name. So you'll have your group chats also in that same list, and then the other tab which isn't shown here is people. So if you wanted to start a new chat, you could click on the other tab. It will have everyone in your contacts on Facebook, and you can just click someone and start a new conversation straight away by clicking on their name. So it's a super simple app, really easy to navigate. There's literally two tabs. The other choice of app, which is another great choice, especially for community outreach and community groups, is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a messaging app that lets users text, chat, and share media, including voice messages and video, with groups or individuals. How does WhatsApp work? WhatsApp relies on data or Wi-Fi connection to send messages, like iMessage or BBM would, if you're familiar with either of those two. So it doesn't cut into your monthly text allotment because the messages, calls, video calls are all done over Wi-Fi. WhatsApp's also included in our video calling basics if it's something you'd want to call on. So above is just sort of what the layout of WhatsApp's like. If you see on the second image on the right, there's 5 options at the bottom for different tabs. If you click on the chat bubble one, you will be on the chat screen, very similar to Facebook Messenger. It will just list all of your current chats and group chats all in the same list, and it arranges it in the most recently communicated in. So the benefits of WhatsApp. WhatsApp isn't a social media platform as it only requires a phone number. This is the key difference to Facebook Messenger. I'd say they're both great messaging applications, but WhatsApp isn't social media based, it's phone number based, which makes it much more accessible because people are far more likely to have a phone number and somewhere to download an app than to have social media presence, obviously depending on your audience and your the people that you're looking at communicating with. So another plus is that WhatsApp is a simple and easy to navigate app as it has a very clear layout. It's free and easy to use as it uses your internet/data connection to send and receive messages, meaning it doesn't eat into your phone contract. There's the ability to make group chats. Scroll down for that. Okay, and there's the ability to make group chats, which is really useful if you need to have, again, like I mentioned earlier, big conversations, have interactive conversations within your group. So the features on WhatsApp are audio and video call, which again, I have the link for if anyone's interested. Sending photos or videos, replying to specific messages. I find this one really useful. So in the Facebook app, you can like a message, but you can't directly respond to a message. Whereas in WhatsApp, if you swipe left on a message, it will sort of quote the message and you type your reply, and everyone can see what you're specifically replying to. So it makes it seem like if the conversation is going quite quickly, you can double back and make sure that questions are answered. So that's a great feature that I highly recommend people use. You can send voice notes, which is just a recording of your voice, and you can send GIFs as a reaction or just something to keep the conversation a bit more exciting or just show appreciation, that sort of thing. You can also send emojis like you can in texting or a Facebook post or something like that. It's just a little smiley face icon, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you have a smartphone. So how to send a message in WhatsApp. Using WhatsApp messaging app is very similar to texting. You simply click on a conversation that you're having in the chats panel that we just looked at. And if you already have a pre-existing conversation, you click on that. Or if it's someone new that you want to contact, you click Compose New to create a new conversation. If you have them in your contacts list, and they have a WhatsApp profile as well, they will automatically come up in the app. You don't need to add people. But if they don't have a WhatsApp profile, you can invite them to WhatsApp. So that's something to consider if people already have WhatsApp and if they're going to know how to use WhatsApp. So chats. The chats panel is the home screen displaying all of your message conversations, and new chat is the new chat icon. So as you can see in this image just here, chats is the fourth one along, and that is the screen that you're going to want to stay the most on because it's going to be where all your conversations are. So to create a new chat, tap new chat icon. It's the pen and paper icon at the top right of the screen. To create a new conversation and message, select a contact on the screen. This creates a new message to the selected contact. And then you type your message and you can just send your message and the person will receive it, and hopefully it opens up a dialogue or a conversation. It's the same thing that goes for making a group chat. You would tap the pen and paper icon, you would just add multiple people, and then it will go to a screen and you name the group chat. Very important to name the group chat just for context so that people are added. They're looking at who's in the group and they're thinking, why on earth am I here? You can just let them know that maybe it's for your upcoming fundraiser or something similar. So attaching media to your message. This is another great tool. To attach your file, your location, or something from your gallery, tap the plus icon. So once you're in the chat, in the group that you want to be talking to, there will be a little plus icon right by your keyboard. If you tap that, it will bring up the option of camera to take a new photo or video, or a photo or video library to attach a picture you've taken earlier, or you can tap document to put in files such as PDFs. So it's a really useful feature, and it's great for, say maybe you had a poster and you just wanted to pop that in, and you could pop a little message underneath. What do you guys think? Or does anyone have any feedback, any thoughts? It's a great way to communicate because you're not having to describe what you're doing. You can actually put the documents and photos, videos in. It's also great for post events, sending people photos of stuff that they were in. It's a really nice keepsake, and it's a nice way to sort of tie off an event. So the last thing that we will cover is safety precautions with online messaging. So online messaging is incredibly useful, but there's a few potential dangers to look out for, as it is important to keep your data safe and your personal information private. So number one, I would say be cautious of numbers or people that you're adding that you don't recognize on Facebook or WhatsApp. It's easy to get mixed up, especially on Facebook when lots of people have the same names. Just double check. Facebook, you can view their profile. On WhatsApp, you can see the name that they've registered to the phone number. So just have a double check of their profile before you start adding them, as it might worry other people if it's in a group chat that they might be communicating without knowing that there's someone that they don't know there. Don't open links or attachments from users that you don't know personally or have built a trust with, as there's a chance these could be unsafe. Again, especially on Facebook Messenger, where you don't have to be friends to message somebody. Of course, you can change this in your privacy settings, but if you're just on a public Facebook page, don't open links from random people. It could be unsafe. If you're in doubt, go to the website that they've sent you, but if it doesn't make sense or it's a bit confusing, it's best not to click. Check people's profile names and pictures before making them a contact, and definitely before putting them into a Facebook group. We'll do a dedicated bite-sized webinar session on safety precautions. Like, the whole of the webinar is on safety precautions. So let me know if you're interested in that, because it will cover social media, Zoom, the whole spectrum. This is just a brief for online messaging. So yeah, email me if you're interested in that. But the last one is, don't overshare your personal information that you wouldn't want compromised, as online messaging isn't 100% secure. So it's a great tool. It's really great for talking to people, but don't send bank details or addresses and stuff. If you know these people, you can send them in more secure ways than on Facebook or WhatsApp, because sometimes these can be interrupted. And yeah, thank you very much for attending. Sorry if it was a bit rushed. I think I squeezed a bit too much text into this one.